We're bringing forward alternative sites like indeed the barge that we've announced today that will save us money and indeed reduce pressure on hotels.
We are now providing accommodation to over 85,000 people, equivalent to the population of Galway City.
And the government is keeping our response to all aspects of this humanitarian crisis, in particular accommodation options, under continuous review.
We would be opposed to using large floating accommodation centres. We don't think they are an appropriate place to accommodate people who are seeking protection here. In the UK, there are quite advanced proposals. They have been used elsewhere. They were used in Denmark in the early 2000s and also, I believe, the Netherlands, and they haven't worked well there. For context, there isn't much worse than sleeping rough, and there were, up until last week, 500 people who were sleeping rough and now around 200. So we do recognise that a lot of work is being done and has to be done and will have to continue to be done to take people off the streets. But we would be very concerned about the use of such accommodation.
I was in the direct provision for about 3 years. One is grateful that one left the system with one's critical faculties still intact, that one didn't go crazy, as some people probably did or on the brink of doing. I do not see this new approach as anything that is going to be markedly different from what has always been in existence. If anything, I think it's going to get much worse, really. They are asylum seekers, they are human beings. And what they need is sympathy, what they need is sanctuary, which is why they are here in the first place anyway. So provide accommodation for them, but do not take away their agency. Give them every kind of support that is needed to integrate them. If you pursue a policy of beginning to put them on the sea in the name of housing them there, you are compounding the problem. You're not even addressing it at all.
There is more than 1,000 beds in what are called the rest centres, which are run by local authorities. That would be an immediate solution for bringing people off the streets. In the medium to long term, I think we're at a junction. One choice is that we continue to be reactive, we continue to use the private hospitality sector, or we significantly invest, and this is what we would be recommending, significantly invest in long-term reception capacity for people who are coming here to seek protection. We would see the use of floating hotels as coming into the category of the former. It wouldn't be good for people, and it is really against a lot of the very basics of integration, which is bringing people into the community, allowing them to settle into the community, getting resources and supports into them. Putting people on a large object on the river, either in Cork or Dublin, is just not appropriate.